when I worked on the Evening Chronicle in Newcastle, there was a girl there who wanted to be taken out all the time.
Oh, yeah.
But she wasn't, what's the word I can say? She wasn't...
Imbued with beauty?
No, well, okay, if you like. She wouldn't have got very far in a Miss World competition.
Okay.
And, of course, you know, most nights when you're young people and you're working on an evening paper and all that, you finish about sort of 4:30, 5 o'clock, you're at the pub across the road.
Yeah.
And then the more drink you have, the more this lady's features changed.
Yes.
You see what I mean?
In a good way.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, you know, from looking through the bottom of a pint of Newcastle exhibition glass, it seemed to get better.
Yes.
You see what I mean?
I imagine the same was true of her looking at you.
I'm sure you're right.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're right. So anyway, it got to 11 o'clock, of course, and the inevitable happened. You know, I thought, you know, seriously, you know.
Well, there was a Rogerisation suggestion made.
Oh yeah, there was a plot afoot, you know.
Yeah.
And we decided to go back to her place.
Right.
Because...
Why not your place?
Well, because I couldn't bear I was living with two other reporters.
Oh,
and
you
I
didn't
couldn't
want
bear
them
the
to
shame of them knowing that I, you know, actually, sort of reduced myself to this level, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I went back
Such a gentleman.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. So I went back to her place, but then... And she lived in one of these...
Did she live on her own?
No, she lived with one other girl.
Right.
And she lives in one of these places where you open the door and then it's just a set of stairs which takes you up to the flat upstairs.
Right.
And I don't know what happened, but as we got to the top of the stairs, I turned to look at her. She was behind me, and the full plainness of her features suddenly hit me, like a bolt out of the blue.
Right.
And I said something like, I don't feel well, and I rushed out. So I fled into the night.
Right.
So I was...
Back down the stairs?
Oh, yeah.
Did you have to sort of push past her?
Yes, I did. Right. Yeah. I'm so sorry. I can't do this. Oh, I don't feel well. I made 3 excuses up in the same. I can't do this. You know, I don't know.
Only 1/3 of my heart works.
Yeah, I don't feel well. You know, so that meant that the next morning I was going to have to go into work and face her after being a cad, an absolute cad.
Did you think she didn't believe you then?
Well, she clearly didn't believe me because we were going to indulge in sex. That was the whole idea. Yeah. And then when I suddenly... I think it was something to do with the light. Right. Because, of course, in a pub, you know, it can be a bit dim. And going home, you know, in the back of a cab, and it's quite dark and all that. Right. And then I think it was the minute she switched on...
There any snoggage going on?
Oh, yeah, there was all that was going on. Yeah. And then the minute she switched on the landing lights, you know, I sort of went... you know, like that. And the next morning, you know...
Could you have found a slightly less inappropriate sort of way to get out of there?
Well, how? What could I have done?
Well, I can't really go into it.
And I thought, you know, I was a terrible cad and been horrible to this poor girl. But secondly, she may have got interference before me and started whinging and moaning to everybody about what had happened last night. And the shame factor was so huge, I genuinely, definitely, you know, thought to myself, you know, I can't show my face. Yeah. In fact, I might even get sacked for this because it's such appalling behaviour.
So what happened
with another member of staff.
Did you go in?
Well, I was very, very lucky because I went in, and at the moment I went in, she wasn't actually in the newsroom. Right. I don't know whether she'd gone to the loo or something, or whether she'd gone to another department or something like that. And the news editor grabbed me. It's one of those mornings when he said, "Don't take your coat off," right, and turned me round and sent me off to, you know, like Newcastle Magistrates Court or something.
For a week or something.
Well, no. But there was a genuine job on, and then... You know, I managed to sort of fumble through the day without going in the office, ringing up all the time, you know. They said, well, can't you come back to the... Oh, no, I can't go back now. Right. Another big story and all this kind of stuff.
I presume she didn't throw a sickie then.
Well, I don't know, because, you know, I couldn't say, is she there or anything like that. But, I mean, that went on for a couple of days.
Did you ever see her again?
Well, of course I did, because I worked with her, and it was all horrible. But in fact, funny enough, the next time I saw her must have been the following day. Right. And when I walked in, I'm not joking, she was literally hiding behind a copy of the Financial Times. Honestly, poor girl over in the corner.
I bet.
She felt worse than me.
Yeah.
You know, and
I imagine being rejected by you. I mean, that's not something you'd want to have to live with, is it?
Well, it's terrible, isn't it?
Absolutely shocking story, but very good. That was Listography. Loads more coming up next on talkSPORT.